You don't need to show her your bank account or brag about your hustle to prove your worth, because your worth is not something that needs to be advertised. A real high-value man moves in silence, allowing his energy to speak before he does. When you walk into a room with that grounded presence, she notices without even realizing it, not with her eyes, but with her intuition. It's a quiet signal, a subtle vibration that tells her you are not there to seek attention, you are not there to perform, and you are not there to prove. You don't need loud suits, rented cars, or flashy brands to fill an emptiness, because you don't have emptiness to fill. You don't post motivational quotes to convince strangers you are on your mission. You don't curate your life for online approval, because you are living your life offline, deeply and intentionally. You're not trying to prove you're a man. You've already become one through your discipline, your focus, and your decisions in silence when no one is watching. She pays attention to how you respond to attention. If attention excites you, she feels that you are starving for it, that you don't get it often, and that you might crumble if you lose it. If attention distracts you, she senses that you have not yet mastered your focus, that you are still seeking validation outside yourself. But when you remain centered, when you absorb admiration without letting it change your internal rhythm, she feels a power in you that most men never learn to embody. You don't shift when eyes are on you, you don't rush your words, and you don't adjust your posture to please the room. That self-assured stillness is rare, and what's rare is remembered. It's in the way you stand without fidgeting, the way you let silence exist between your words, the way you let your eyes meet hers without trying to dominate or retreat. Your calm becomes an anchor in the room, and that calmness becomes the first layer of attraction she feels, even before she understands why she is drawn to you. It's the energy of a man who is whole, who has already accepted himself fully, who does not chase approval or fear rejection, because he knows his worth is not determined by any moment or any person's opinion. You walk with a weight that cannot be faked, a quiet confidence that doesn't need to be spoken about because it's felt. This is what draws her in before you ever say a word. She notices how you move, how you're never in a rush to prove yourself, how you don't scramble to fill silence with empty words just to keep her attention. You move like a man who has places to go but is never in a hurry to get there, because you value your time, and time is the most expensive currency you will ever carry. It shows in your pace, in how you listen more than you speak, in how you allow conversations to breathe instead of forcing them. She can feel that you are not seeking her approval with every sentence, that you are not looking to impress her with stories designed to make you look important, that you are not testing her reactions to validate your own worth. You protect your energy because you understand how valuable it is, and you don't give it away easily. You don't open up to fast, not because you're hiding, but because you value your own depth and understand that what is truly valuable should not be easily accessible. She senses that access to your world must be earned, that you have layers, and each layer is revealed slowly, purposefully, only to those who have shown they can respect it. You don't bleed emotionally for just anyone because you've learned that your emotions are not for casual consumption, and she feels that restraint. She understands that if she wants to know you, truly know you, she will need to bring patience and presence. You don't offer constant validation because you don't need to buy her interest with compliments or false praise. When you give validation, it's real, felt, and earned. And because it's rare, it holds weight. She starts to notice that your attention is not a free prize that she can claim just by being there. It is something she must value. And in that scarcity, she begins to appreciate the moments when you do give it. This changes the dynamic because she is no longer in control simply because she is beautiful or interesting. Now, She realizes she must rise to the level of a man who values himself. She feels the shift when she knows she is not the center of your universe, that you are not orbiting her, that you have your own mission, your own peace, and your own reasons for moving the way you do. She starts to value you not because of what you say, but because of what your presence demands in silence. It is in this quiet, grounded, calm energy that you reveal your worth without ever having to say a word. You are not always reachable, and it is not because you are playing games or trying to manipulate her emotions, but because you are deeply invested in building yourself. You are in the gym, sweating through the discomfort, because you know discipline shapes a man more than words ever could. You are focused on your mission, working on your craft, investing in your mind, in your body, and in your future. You are building a life that does not revolve around seeking validation from her or anyone else. When she reaches out, she does not find a man who is desperately waiting for her message to feel important. She finds a man who is already full, who is already living with intention, and who has learned to enjoy his solitude without needing constant interaction to feel whole. It is this fullness, this completeness, that makes her crave entry into your world. Not because you are withholding yourself to create desire, but because your life is genuinely rich with purpose and movement, and she feels it. She sees how you respond to disrespect, how you don't bark, you don't shout, you don't explode, and you don't react emotionally to challenges that would shake most men. Instead, you withdraw with calm, you step back, you remove your energy, and you let your silence set the boundary. It echoes louder than any argument ever could, and in that silence, she recalibrates and begins to understand that you are not a man who can be manipulated by emotional chaos or provoked into losing his composure. You are not constantly posting, not seeking to document every detail of your life for approval. You are living offline, and the life you live is real, it is intentional, and it is not performed for the camera. The less you try to show off, the more she knows you must already have something worth protecting, something worth valuing. That is what sparks her curiosity. That is what makes her want to learn more about you without you having to convince her of your worth. It is in your absence that she begins to feel your value, and it is in the way you stay grounded and focused on your purpose that she realizes she is dealing with a man who is rare, a man who is not easily swayed, and a man who cannot be bought with shallow attention. You don't waste your breath on gossip, and you don't speak on other men, because you understand that energy spent judging others is energy stolen from your own mission. You don't explain yourself to people who have already decided what they want to believe about you, because you know your path doesn't require validation from spectators. You move in silence, choosing your battles carefully, knowing that not every challenge deserves your response. This restraint, this quiet discipline, tells her without a word that you are a man of focus, a man who understands the power of holding his frame. You don't flinch when she tests you, because you know it is natural for her to test the edges of your boundaries, to see if you truly are who you claim to be. You don't chase when she pulls back. You don't beg for her attention when she withdraws. Instead, you breathe, you lean back, allowing the space to do what begging never could. She sees you hold your composure in the heat of her emotions, and that is when respect begins to take root in her mind. That is when attraction deepens into something more powerful than surface-level interest, because she sees you are not like the others. You don't lead with your wallet because you don't need to buy her affection. You lead with your discipline, your habits, your control, and your edge. She can sense when a man's external value is simply a mask to hide internal emptiness, but you are not empty. You've done the work, you've faced your shadows, you've built your mind, your body, and your spirit in private. Your money, your success, your results are simply a reflection of your internal world, not a cover-up for a lack of substance. She feels the difference between a man who flashes his lifestyle to distract from his insecurities and a man who lives intentionally, with each step grounded in his purpose. Your calm becomes a mirror for her chaos. Your silence becomes a challenge to her noise, and your stillness becomes the test she didn't know she needed. It is in these moments of quiet confidence that she realizes you are not seeking her validation to feel worthy. You are offering her the opportunity to experience the energy of a man who has built himself without needing to be seen, a man who can walk away without fear because he knows he can rebuild again and again. This is the energy that makes you unforgettable. You dress with intention, not for flash or empty attention, but for alignment with who you are becoming. Clean, fitted, minimal. You don't need loud brands screaming for eyes because you are seen without trying, and the way you present yourself tells her you pay attention to detail, not for approval, but out of self-respect. Your word carries weight because you do not speak to impress or to please. You speak to align your actions with your intentions. When you say you will do something, you follow through, not to prove yourself to others, but because your word is law to yourself first. You do not overpromise or sell dreams you cannot deliver. And this reliability is rare in a world where many speak endlessly about what they will do but move little. It is in this silent integrity that she senses you are different, that your value is not built on illusions, but on the foundation of your consistent actions. You make eye contact and hold it, not to intimidate, but to connect, to let her know you are fully present, unafraid of being seen, unafraid of letting your energy speak through your calm gaze. You do not shrink in her presence, nor do you try to overpower her. You simply exist fully, and that presence alone creates a gravity she feels. You do not react when she seeks attention elsewhere. You do not lose yourself when she posts something suggestive, and you do not flinch when another man enters the room. You remain calm, a small knowing smile on your face, because you know who you are and what you bring to any space you enter. Your inner stability creates emotional gravity, making you a man who cannot be easily shaken or replaced. You don't need to be loud to be heard because your energy precedes your arrival. Your silence speaks in ways words never can, and your actions reveal who you are long before your words do. You don't fear loss because you understand that what leaves creates space for something greater, and that mindset makes you untouchable in the best way, not arrogant, but secure and unshakable. She respects you before she even understands you because your composure and restraint speak louder than any speech ever could, telling her your value is rooted, earned, and protected, showing her that the strongest signal you can send is no signal at all, because you are whole, without performance, aligned, without needing to be understood, and powerful, because you understand yourself.